Welcome, everyone. My name is Elian Ramos, and I'm your host for tonight. Thank you so much for being here. Tonight, we're going to be talking about something that the Latino community needs in spades. We're going to be talking about role models. You know, the people who inspire us, the people who are our north, the ones who make us think, "Oh my God, I want to be like that when I grow up." And tonight I have the pleasure and the honor to have a couple of, I have a lot of good friends who qualify to be here tonight, I have to say, because I have so many role models around me. But these two people that I have as my main guests tonight are so special and such dear friends of mine that I'm so happy and honored to have them here tonight. I'm talking about Frances Colón. And Frances is I had to read her title because it's such a long title. This woman is amazing. She's the Acting Science and Technology Advisor to the Secretary of State at the U.S. Department of State. And Frances, it's such an honor to have you here. Amiga, I know that we always say that we don't miss a cumpleaños de muñeca, right? Like we're everywhere. But I'm so happy to have you here. Thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure. Thank you for having me.
And the next person is Antonio Tijerino, and Antonio is the president and CEO at the Hispanic Heritage Foundation. How are you, Antonio?
I'm doing great. Look who I'm sitting next to.
Well, you are both amazing people, and so I am so glad that you are all here. But along with Antonio and Frances, we have some very special guests tonight. And these are all amazing young people who are doing unbelievable things out there in the fields of STEM, the science, math, and engineering and math. Is that what? Yeah, that's what STEM stands for. Sorry, it's late, people. So I'm gonna read their names. First, I have Brian Hernandez, who just won an award for business and entrepreneurship. And Brian comes from Hialeah, Florida. How are you, Brian?
Very good, thank you. Very nice to be here with you guys.
Thank you for being here. And next I have Laura Vasquez. And Laura, you're going to have to tell me what you won your award for. I'm sorry.
I won my award for the category of engineering and mathematics.
Thank you. Oh my God, we have a bona fide geek over here. Thank you for being here, Laura.
Thank you for having me.
And next I have Matthew Rittman, who won in the category of sports and fitness.
Yep. Hi, everybody.
Matt, where are you from, Matt?
San Antonio, Texas.
Woohoo!
Oh,
how are you? Next I have Sophia. Sophia Sanchez Mays. Is it Mays or Mays?
Mays.
Mays. Sophia, what did you win for?
I took the Innovation and Technology Award.
Oh wow! And where are you coming from?
I'm from Las Cruces, New Mexico.
Wow! Well, we have people from all over the country tonight. Next, I have Mariano Stevens. But Mariano, you go by the name of Sonny. Why is that?
That was my grandfather's nickname, and he was a huge role model in my mother's life, so they decided to give me that nickname as well.
Nice. And what did you win the award for?
I won the National Youth Award in Community Service.
Beautiful. And you're coming from Austin, Texas, right?
Austin, Texas.
Beautiful. Nice. So as you can see, tonight we have a room full of award winners and role models for the community, people who are inspiring young people out there to do their best. And I want to start by asking Antonio, because Antonio is such a dear friend. I don't think me saying anything here is going to express how much I love this man and how much I look up to him. Antonio does so much for the youth in this country, and he's a regular not only at the White House for all of the work that he does, but he's helping kids to bridge kids to the technology and to inspire kids to do more in those fields, which is a testament to the amount of kids that we have here and the amazing things that they're doing. So, Antonio, I want to start with you. Can you tell us a little bit about what the Hispanic Heritage Foundation is doing and all the amazing work you're doing to lead these kids into technology fields?
Well, I just want to correct you that these kids are leading me into the technology. So you have to understand that they're my inspiration. And when you talk about role models, I was asked on an interview recently on TV. They asked me, "Who are your role models?" I was getting an award, and I said, "They're actually 20, 30 years younger than me." And so my role models, they're my role models in terms of what can be accomplished. And our model at our organization is to present a value proposition to America through the Latino community, specifically in youth. So you have to understand that by providing that value proposition, we need to work backwards from what America needs. And right now, what they need is innovative minds. They need leadership. Our wonderful country needs to be able to be on the top of the world in terms of being able, what we offer as a country. And I believe the Latino community has a lot to offer in that space. And so when we work in terms of promoting that, our job isn't to get little, Brian or little Laura or Sonny and Matt and Sophie and even Francis. Our job is how can we leverage them to impact thousands and potentially millions of others. We aren't here to just simply give Matt an award or to give Laura an award. Our job is how do we figure out how to present them to have the greatest impact? How do we leverage that? And we do it with grown-ups as well in terms of the great work that Frances has been doing because she received an award along with these outstanding young leaders. But you have to understand, they are leaders of today, not tomorrow. Sophie's going to reach more people than Cesar Chavez, Martin Luther King, or Gandhi could in a lifetime combined in a split second, more effectively. Yes. So that's kind of the model of what we do, and the programs that we execute, they are built around filling a need. They're built around inspiration. And when we meet with young people, we have opportunities to incubate their ideas and promote their ideas and teach computer coding all over the country, or use video gaming to encourage other Latinos to get involved in that space. That's very easy to do, but the inspiration comes from them, not the other way around.
Yes, very, very true, and especially now with the explosion in technology. I was joking with the kids before you guys came in that, by the time I got into the Hangout, they were all here already. They are born with this technology. They understand everything that has to do with it. It's second nature. So it's ¿Cómo?
Los viejitos eran los
¿Cómo
últimos.
dijiste? Sí, ¿verdad? Siempre. Pero lo que pasa es eso, what happens is that these kids are born with this technology, and so for them, they don't have to think about it. It's just like second nature. So let me switch to Frances now, because Frances, you are, first of all, congratulations on that award. I do know that I am so proud of you, hermana, and I say this from the heart. So, what was the award again? Tell me what the name of the award.
The award was
whatever.
No, wait. I know what award you won, but the people who are watching don't know. So I want them to know what it was.
So the award was the Inspira Award for 2015 for the Hispanic Heritage Foundation, and the idea is as a woman role model in the STEM field. So I'm very honored. I think that getting an award from the Hispanic Heritage Foundation means a lot.
Definitely watch this woman.
I'm especially honored because I think that what the
you're kind of cutting off, Frances.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, now I can hear you. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I was
You're
saying
going to have to say everything again.
It's okay. I was going to say that the award means especially a lot because, as I have told Tony, and I said it that day at the award ceremony, I believe in the work of the foundation. I believe in what they are doing. They are having real impact. They are not just talking the talk, but they are walking the walk about putting these kids out in front of our community, showcasing what our community has the potential to do. And if in any way I can help that mission, I am here for Tony, for the foundation, for these kids. I hope I have a mentee in the group already, but I'm happy to be everybody's mentor. And if I can teach them anything, what they teach us every day is that they don't see obstacles. And that's what's amazing about these kids and the potential of our community. And that's what the message we want to get out. There are no limits to what you can do. And this field is ripe for receiving all this talent. Science, technology, engineering, and math needs them and needs the rest of our community to get on board to really be the face of our country, the competitive face of our country in front of the world.
Yeah, and in that same vein, Frances, I know that you focus on science and technology and how to integrate that into policy, into foreign policy in particular, but that you're very passionate about getting women, getting girls into science and technology. And why are you so passionate about that?
Well, I think, obviously, I'm a woman. I believe in the potential of women to really change the face of technology. It is something that our country needs to do better at. But I do believe that the return on investment that you get from diverse work teams, from companies, universities that better integrate women into their teams has already spoken for itself. So I'm a tireless advocate on, basically getting women into these fields, getting them to believe that they have a lot to contribute, that these fields are waiting for them. Our country can't wait. Right now, we have a surplus of open STEM jobs that are waiting for women and for our community to step up and get involved. And I believe that our community and women in general have a lot to contribute. And so anything that I can do to bring them along, to open doors, to lift women into these roles, that's what I am going to do.
I love it. I love it. And that is so necessary, especially with the kind of environment that is there and the conversations that are going on online, especially about women and technology now. And there's a lot of debates going on about how open that space is for women right now. So I don't want to get myself ahead of myself here, but I know that you were all in Puerto Rico this weekend. I think we mentioned a little bit of why you were there, but tell me a little bit about that experience. How was it? What are the youth awards, Antonio? What was the experience of everyone who was there? I want the kids to open up and talk to and tell me what they thought about it.
Well, I'll tell you what it is in a very quick second, because you should get to them, because their experiences are going to count more than mine. But the Youth Awards have been around for 17 years. I was actually one of the architects of it when I was on the funding side, and when I took over the organization, my focus became on not just the Youth Awards, but the continuum into the Latinos on Fast Track program, because I'm not so much interested in what Brian's doing right now. I'm more interested in what he's going to do 5 years from now, and that's kind of the premise of it. So the Youth Awards honor Latino high school seniors for their achievements in the classroom and in the community. Also, for their attention to a particular category, and those categories, as you mentioned, are in the STEM areas, but also, like Sunny was saying, community service, education, fitness, and other areas like entrepreneurship, and so those all connect with the STEM areas these days anyway. The other thing is that their average GPA across the country was almost a 4.0. So as amazing as this group that you have here and our national youth awardees, say this with great respect, guys, but it was a tough selection to break it down from 10,000 applicants to hundreds of youth awardees regionally to these 8 national youth awardees in each one of the categories. And as special as they are, they're one of the group when you put them in with everyone that won these awards across the country. And that's a great feeling to have outstanding young students that just kind of mesh in when it gets to our network, and that's the collaboration where the magic needs to happen going forward. Now they're in the family. Now we need to make sure that we leverage their amazing capabilities. So I'll turn it over to them to talk about what happened, but that's the background. And they get grants as well that they can use for either their education or for a project or innovation.
Yeah, I just want to say, that it's also a chance for them to reach out to their peers, no, and to inspire them to also reach higher, no. So guys, tell me about your experience.
Part of a TV show, so it was filmed for VEME, which is kind of the Spanish language PBS. So we are going to take it very seriously to promote them as role models, and they're joining a fraternity of now. Our network is like 50,000. So they are mixed in with those groups, and it's amazing because at 16, 17 years old, there's some past youth awardees that won the award 13, 14 years ago that are still in touch that they now have as mentors or connectivity.
Wow. So okay, so I cannot wait to hear about all of your projects. You guys, if you can go like down the line, let's start with Brian, and then we go down the line to the right. So, Brian, can you tell me a little bit about your project and what was it like to be in Puerto Rico, winning this award, everything?
Well, as you previously mentioned, I won the national award in the business and entrepreneurship category, and basically I have been taking a lot of business courses, college level business courses in high school since my sophomore year. And God willing, I'll be getting my associate in arts degree this spring term in accounting. So that's kind of why I won an award. And being in Puerto Rico was amazing. We had such a great time with you guys, all the Hispanic Heritage Foundation staff, this amazing group of friends that I got to meet over there, and very inspirational individuals like Francis Colón, like Daniel Suarez, and many others who are true Latino leaders and inspirations for us, because when we look at them, when we look up to them, we see that if they did it, if they made it, it doesn't matter where you come from or what is your background, you can also do it. So it was great. It was great to be there.
Nice. Oh my God. I wish I could have went with you guys. Now it sounds even more exciting after you're saying it. Laura, can you tell me a little bit about your experience?
Yes, I'm the recipient in the category of engineering mathematics. So I've done a lot of science fair, I've taken advanced classes, and I've done just a lot of things I enjoy, as well as in the community with science. Puerto Rico was amazing. I've never been to the island before, so it was an amazing experience. I had so much fun with my mom, and meeting a bunch of these students that are just so inspirational. Definitely lifelong friends that I'll stay in touch with. But it was just amazing. I enjoyed the awards. I enjoyed having the experience. I feel extremely blessed for the opportunity.
What was your favorite part?
Oh gosh. I think that actual award ceremony, because it was just so nice hearing everyone's speeches, and it makes me really happy because I just love everyone now in the family, and they're like part of my own family that I care for dearly.
Oh my God, that's so sweet to say. Matt, tell me about what you thought. What was your experience?
Yeah, I mean, Puerto Rico was absolutely gorgeous. I was still just kind of dumbfounded the entire time, because for me it was a reward almost for just the lifestyle that I've adopted. I was the sports and fitness winner, so it was just based on, I guess, achievements and extracurriculars, and so just being able to take a summer vacation right in the middle of January was really nice. And it's always nice being around passionate and goal-oriented people, and sometimes my environment is in want of that, so it was just refreshing to be around such intelligence and drive, and just a great experience throughout. I mean, the staff did a wonderful job making us feel like kings and queens, so it was just great all around.
Well, you certainly deserve it. You certainly deserve it. Sonny, tell us a little bit about your experience.
Well, as y'all know, I won the award for community service, and I think it was generally 4 things that I kind of talked about on my application that got my award. I had 2 service projects One was for literacy, and the other was for sustainable consumption. In addition to hours as a camp counselor and my role as student council president. But I was still, like, I was really surprised to find out that I won. I was actually watching a movie, and I had to step out of the theater and talk with Johnny Latios, who is the programs coordinator at the HHF. So I was, like, freaking out, and I was, like, watching, like, the Hunger Games or something, and I, like, just had to, like, settle down. But I think that the best part of the experience for me was really knowing and understanding that as a Latino, I have a network of amazing people who not only want me to succeed, but want me to do great things for other people. And that was just the most, really a great thing to help me and improve my drive, I guess, to make a difference.
Nice. Well, that's certainly the point, no? That when you make it out there, you know you're going to be the leaders, you're going to be the presidents of corporations, the president of the country. Who knows, right? We could be sitting with the next president of the United States right here, the next Secretary of State. But you know, that's the whole point, that you learn that you have to give back and you have to pay it forward, right? So I want to hear from Sophia now. She's being a little quiet. Sophia, what was your experience?
Oh, well, my experience in Puerto Rico was really great. I felt like it catalyzed a lot of my desires to really make change, not only in my research, but just for other people, bringing them up the way I have been. The reason I got this award, I'm the Innovation and Technology winner, is because I'm a techie girl. I'm really into coding and software development. I use code and lab research to better fight cancer, to make algae biofuel, to make better photodiodes, and maybe to make a better world. And that's what I hope to do. And part of that is bringing forward that next generation, and that's the inspiration that I got at the awards. You know, in science, we can never overstate the importance of communication, of letting your findings be known so that the whole world can come forward with you. But that holds in life too. And this whole experience has just taught me how you've got to mentor, you've got to role model, you've got to communicate your experiences so that you can help everyone move forward.
Yeah. Oh my God! And listening to you guys it fills my heart with joy. Yeah, tell me, Antonio, because I'm about to cry here just listening to.
You don't understand how much we cried in Puerto Rico.
So let me quote Sophia when she said, "Big problems require big data," and
yes.
that was like the quote that I remembered. So I'm actually quoting but it's true, and I've actually mentioned it, by the way, Sophia, to others from your speech, and they're going to some of the best schools in the country, and the beauty is that we actually work with a lot of companies going forward when they're in school for internships or mentorships. We work with, for instance, PricewaterhouseCoopers, that's in the accounting space. We've got a guy right in the other room that is the founder of Back to the Roots, which is an amazing entrepreneur that I was telling them earlier that has developed a way to grow mushrooms on waste, and he's working with Whole Foods. It's unbelievable what this guy has done, and he's a 25-year-old from Berkeley. We work with ExxonMobil in placing engineers. We've placed over 200 over the last 5 years, so Laura's right there. And Matt, I talked to Matt already about opportunities that we're trying to figure out for him. And Sonny, I want to connect him to this guy that's sitting in the next room, that's doing the growing from waste and the Green Latinos movement and all these other things. And Sophia, honestly, I just was approached by National Science Foundation, who's a good friend of Francis, and you are all very needed by everyone here in Washington, by policymakers, but also by companies and by the entrepreneurial space. So they're going to some of the best schools in the country, and we're just very, very proud to play some small, tiny role in their progression going forward. So at the very least, you know, we can give them encouragement, we can give them a platform, and we can give them connectivity to other great minds like they have, so that they can make themselves even better. The same way with a basketball team, that when you're playing with people around you that are great, you get even better. And I think that's what's happening right now with these young leaders. Am I Elsa and I'm frozen?
Yeah, and I think I'm sorry because I think we're having a little bit of connectivity problems. I don't know what's going on, but Antonio, I think you hit it on the head right there. Is that this country? It's not just like us or people in different industries, but the country needs them. They are the future of the country, obviously. So we've been talking about what it means to be a role model, but I want to give the kids an opportunity very quickly because we're getting close to the time here. But an opportunity to tell me who do they see as a role model, guys, and it can be just a name or it can be it doesn't have to be anything too elaborate. But who we see you as role models. Who do you see as role models?
Okay, should I
Go
just...
ahead. Go ahead.
Actually, mine is as strange as it sounds. I have a little 3-year-old brother at home, and so I would have to say him because really, I mean, coming home like after a long day of work to that kind of energy, he reminds me to be passionate in everything I do, just like he does. He reminds me to deal with my problems one step at a time. And really, what makes you happy is the people you surround yourself with, and being satisfied at the end of the day with what you've accomplished. So for him, it might be riding his tricycle around the house, like yelling at the top of his lungs. But I just try to take his perspective and adopt it into my adult lifestyle, and I'm much happier for it. So.
Oh. Wow, very inspirational. Anybody else who wants to share their role model?
Sure. As for me, I know I always used to really kickstart myself by putting the likes of Marie Curie or Ada Lovelace as my cell phone wallpaper. But over the years, I really realized that my real role models are my parents because they really guided me to the essence of everything that I work towards. As much as I'm a technical Latina, I'm really just trying to make the world a better place, and that's all them.
Wow, so beautiful. We can just wish our kids say the same, huh?
Yeah, mine would say Taylor Swift.
I don't blame them.
Yeah, well. Anybody else? Who else wants to go?
I would
Go
have
ahead.
to agree with Sophia. My mother definitely coming to this country and giving me this opportunity is definitely what's made. I wouldn't be here without her, and so she's my biggest role model. Just seeing her with all her sacrifice and hard work, it's definitely puts you towards the right direction and makes you want to fight hard.
Okay. Anybody else? That's beautiful, by the way.
I would say, okay, I would say one of my many role models would be my grandfather. He grew up in El Paso during the 50s and 60s, and so he definitely understood what it meant to struggle, but he didn't let poverty prevent him from being successful. And so he ended up getting a degree in electrical engineering from UT El Paso and received an MBA from Santa Clara. And so he really started from these humble roots and then went on to do great things and created a lot of financial stability for my family and showed me what it means to be a leader who takes initiative.
Beautiful. Beautiful. And Brian?
Yeah, I would have to agree with Laura and with Sophia. My parents are truly my real role models. I mean, they might not have an education. My parents went to elementary school. They finished, I think the highest grade was 9th grade. But my parents have shown me the importance of working hard. We came to this country 6 years ago, and it is because of them that I'm here. It is because they made an effort and they left behind their lives, their family, to give me a better chance in this country. And I am grateful for that. You know, I look up to them, and sometimes they might not know what I'm doing in school, what math problem I'm solving, or what does the book I'm reading says, but they're there to support me. They're there to tell me, we are here for you. We are going to support you all the way, and I am very, very thankful for them. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. I'm sorry, it got a little crazy there for a second. But what I'm seeing here in Antonio and in Francis, I want to go back to you because what I'm hearing here is something that we know. That role models are such an ingrained concept in our culture, right? I mean, we have even a saying that goes, you know, dime con quién andas y te diré quién eres, right? It's kind of like part of who we are to look for people who are doing well so that we can model ourselves after that and to follow their example. So why do you think, you know, how do you think we can ensure that Latino kids get the proper role models, you know, and not just like, you know, the people that they see in the telenovelas or the people who are, you know, in the reality shows. I'm not saying that those are bad role models, but I'm saying that how do we make sure that they get the right kind of role models so that they start thinking bigger and start, you know, doing better things for their own lives? And either one of you can answer.
I think that the example that Tony has set with the work that the foundation is doing is already a great example. Tony has the knack to take advantage of the entire network of Latinos in the DC area, but even broader, and bring them on board. Latinos are, we already espouse these values, right, that are the kids just talked about, what their parents taught them, our values of hard work, our values of family, of not seeing any obstacles, of working hard. How do you come here 6 years ago, listen to this young guy's achievements, to his English? This is what we're talking about. We don't see limits to what we can do. I think our community has to realize that we have to stick together, that we have to set aside any differences, obstacles, aqueles de no sé dónde, that doesn't matter. Our community needs to stick together, to be role models for our kids, to open up doors. The leaders in our community, whether it's in the workplace, whether it's in school, in academia, wherever they are, need to understand that they need to open doors for our community, for our kids, find opportunities like Tony does all the time to showcase and highlight talent, whether it's adult talent or young talent, because we learn from each other. Like Tony said, his role models are these young people. I have to say, my role model continues to be my mother, who is in her 60s, and when I entered grad school to do my PhD, one day called me and said, Mija, I decided to go back to school and get my degree because you have inspired me going to grad school. I want to go back and get my bachelor's. My mother graduated with not only her bachelor's, but her master's at the top of her class. Last year. I was able to cry at her graduation. So these are the values of our community, and I just think it doesn't take that much to just really give back, pay it forward, and spread it around because we have it in spades.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, that's such an inspiring story. My God, you should write that story, Francis. That should be your next book. I do really think, I mean, and the kids are saying it without prompting, right? They see their parents and everything that they have done to come here to make a safe space for their children so that their children can grow, you know, like beautiful little flowers that they are. And that's a beautiful example. I mean, that's an example of fighting for your family, right? So how do you think we can do a better job? And Antonio, you already do this, but how do you think the rest of us can do a better job at showcasing these people? I know a million people who are amazing role models, but I don't feel like they get so much exposure as other people who may not be that good role models. So how do we do a better job at showcasing these beautiful people, these amazing people, so that our kids have people to look up to?
Well, the first way is that we got Frances a reality show, and she's also going to be in a telenovela. You may want to apologize because she's about to star in her this fall. coming to
I
you.
love it.
So I think a big part of this is that as much as people are out there trying to promote themselves, that you need to promote others. And that's a very basic area, especially here in Washington. People make a whole living out of promoting themselves. And we need to take a step back and say the better Francis does, the better we all do. The better these young people do, the better Alejandro, who we're here recognizing in the other room, does, the better we all do. You know, when the sun rises, it rises for all of us, I said earlier, and that's the way we have to look at the community. On top of the role model aspect, these young people and Francis and all of us had our parents, for the most part, as role models or family members like Sonny's grandfather and others. What we need is different kind of role models. It's not a work ethic thing. It's not a faith. It's not a loyalty and family, and those basic tenets of success are there from our parents, whether they had an 8th grade education, or whether whether they were engineers, you know, like Sonny's grandfather. What they need to do is find role models that'll teach them how to take risks, that'll teach them how to innovate, that'll teach them how to make things happen, how to access capital in order to support their programs. So when Matt reached out to me and said he was thinking about Stanford or Harvard or University of Texas, you can ask him. I immediately connected him with Utiquio Chapa, who won the Youth Award 7 or 8 years ago, who's now working at Stanford Business School in the Latino tech area. Or I connected him to Xavier Del Rosario, who graduated from Harvard and is now he's on the venture capitalist side. Or Dante, or others that we're connected to. So that's who they need to connect with. They've already got the role model at home in terms of how to be a human being, how to be into service, how to be in all that. My job and all of our jobs is how do we create those connections to other Latinos that are their age or close to their age within the space that they're trying to get in, so that we have a better opportunity for them to learn how to make something happen, like Alejandro in the other room, from growing mushrooms on old coffee beans when he was 20 years old in his frat house at Berkeley, and now it's a hugely successful company that partners with some of the top retail companies in the country or in the world. And now he's looking at how do you take it farther in terms of youth learning about nutrition and how to access cleaner food from waste. You're making something from waste. That is the ultimate in sustainability. That's who they need to connect with in a different kind of role model. You've got to take risks. And
I think you provide the perfect segue to my next question, because it's exactly that. It's like, how do we prepare these kids to find the resources that they need so that they can succeed, right? So do you have any kind of resources that you can share with us, with the people who are watching? I know that you already share them with the kids here, and we all have a lot of resources to share, but I want to hear, how can people get in touch with you? How can they get some of the programs that are going to take them to the next stage?
Well, they can certainly look at hispanicheritage.org or join loftnetwork.org. But the resources basically are with you, with Francis, with each other. Those are the resources. I think the biggest thing that my philosophy is that everything's easy. I'm naive. I think everything's easy to do. And some of the accomplishments we've had have been based on the rest of Washington especially, but all over the country. People think everything's difficult, and that's their approach, and then they figure out that it's maybe not so difficult. I really do think everything's easy to do. Sometimes I see that it's a little more difficult, but my first step is that it's easy. The other thing is that when people look at the Latino community or African American community and a lot of others, they see, how do we keep them, first inclination is, how do we keep them from killing each other, getting pregnant, or dropping out? I see, where do we get the next Steve Jobs? Where do we get the next Francis Colón? And that is a difference. Those are real issues that cause that initial reaction, by the way, and I'm involved with those in my personal life. But at work, I wanted to carve out a niche that is, you don't even know how much overachieving Latinos how much help they need. You think they don't need any help,
Yes.
but they need help
Yes.
to be transformative as opposed to surviving. They're going to be great no matter what. But if they're going to be connected to opportunities within the workforce, to opportunities as entrepreneurs, and as we're building out this Loft Lab, they have an idea, we actually can incubate their idea and provide them with all kinds of services to help them foment those ideas and then take it at some point. A young lady that I'd love to connect any of you, sounds like Sophia might be the best fit for this one, and Laura, you should meet the young lady from last year that got your award, that's from LA. She ended up she has a patent out on some aeronautical device that's being used with airplanes at 17 years old. And she's now at Stanford. Yeah, and Sophia, there's a young lady that is Nicaraguan like me, that from East LA. She went to Stanford, she went to Harvard and then went to Cambridge. At Cambridge, her mother died of cancer, breast cancer. So she developed some early detection breast cancer technology that she and a group of friends built out and won the Cambridge Innovation Award, and now she's trying to take it on the business side of things. So I had to connect her to some of our lofties that are in the business side so they can give her some guidance in terms of what a company's going to look for to buy her idea. So the resources are within each other. That's the key to all of this. The answers are within our community. What problems need to be solved can be solved with the people that you have on this call, except for me, by the way, but I get to facilitate.
You are the first one. You are the one that we look to. I mean, you do this. This is your life, Antonio. You have the Hispanic Heritage Awards. You have the Hispanic Heritage Youth Awards. You do the Loft program. All of these programs are basically building the platform for more Latino role models. So you are the one that we look to for this. But I do think you have a point in that every day we get an opportunity, to become these role models. And I want to hear what Frances has to say, by the way, before we go. But I think that is true. We all have that opportunity, and we're so glad that we have somebody like you, Antonio, and like Frances to look up to and to kind of follow your lead in that area, because you both do it so well. Well, Frances, any resources that you would like to share before we go?
I mean, the resource is, I think, the community, but also, like Tony said, being able to see beyond the immediate resources and the values that we already have. When I talk about mentorship with scientists, with women scientists, with girls in STEM, I always tell them that a mentor comes in many different forms and shapes, and that our community can definitely look within for role models, but we should also look to mentors outside of our community. Women should look at women mentors, but also men mentors. Hispanics need to look at our community, but also outside of our community. I can say that when I look back at my journey in my career, the people that have opened doors for me, the people that have helped me, navigate my career, decision-making, next steps, have every sort of background. We're talking about men, women, African American, Hispanic, any shape and form. And so I think that we should not limit ourselves into who can inspire us, and we should really look to learn from others. We just heard from Alejandro next door about the people that influenced him in his career as he was putting together this idea in the company. And he goes back and says, one of the first things I looked at in the community when I came here was how Americans figured out this whole work ethic thing, and this, the hours they worked, and how they built their networks, and how they looked at the world. And I learned a lot as a Colombian American looking at their example, and I started integrating examples of their success models into mine. And so I think that the model of this country, the doors it opens, and what is out there for you to take advantage of, whether you're a Latino, whoever you are, this group of young people with all the talent that they have, this is the resource. The resource is you're going on to universities where you have an entire world that is going to open up, and take advantage of all of it.
And have fun.
Yes, and that's part of the beauty of living in this country. No, we are surrounded by people from all over the world with so many different amazing backgrounds and ethnicities that, why not take advantage of that? So I definitely believe in your point of view. I have friends from all over the world, really. And it's so amazing to see how much you learn from each person that you come across, and each person can be a role model for a different area of your life. So I want to, I don't want to keep you. I know that I interrupted your your little soiree before. I think you've been so gracious to stay a little over the time that we had allotted. So I just want to thank you so much. And I want to leave you, guys who are watching, I want to leave you with this thought. We like I said before, we come across so many opportunities every day to be the person that somebody else can look up to and be inspired. So let's take advantage of that opportunity every day, and let's try to live our lives in a way that we can inspire these young kids. But also, you don't know who's watching. Like Frances' mom got inspired by her. So you don't know who is watching what you do. If we live in a way that we can inspire other people, no matter who they are, to be their better selves, then we can all be the role models that we aspire to be, right? So thank you so much, Antonio, Frances, and all of you, Brian and Laura and Matt and Sunny and Sophia. Thank you so much. I got all your names. So I'm proud of myself.
Good job.
Stay in touch.
Thank you so much for being here. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Elian.
Go ahead. I didn't hear that.
Thank you.
Thank you, Elian.
Have a great
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you so
Bye.
much.
Bye-bye.
Thank
And I'll
you.
see you guys
Bye.
next week.
Thank you.